Hi, before I start, I just wanted to let you know that I might be stuttering throughout this video. It's not because I didn't practice, I just have a tendency to stutter when I'm nervous. Okay. Have you ever been in school and asked yourself, why do we have to learn this? I have. My sister certainly has. And I'm willing to bet that you have as well. Well, many people ask the same question about Hamlet. And when Hamlet was taught to my older sister, when she was in the same course I am in now, she would roll her eyes and say things like, "It's so outdated. I've seen this story 100 times. When will we get something new?" And and she has a point. Hamlet is 400 years old. It's a story that has been told over and over again, whether through The Lion King or Netflix dramas. It is still relevant. Is it still relevant in modern teaching settings? Should it still be taught in school? Some would say no, like my sister. I firmly say yes, it should be taught in schools, not because of tradition, but because it still speaks to issues that we have in the modern world. What do you think of when you read or hear Hamlet's line in Act 3, Scene 1, "to be or not to be"? You probably heard it before, even without having seen the play or read it. You probably picture a guy in tights holding a skull. Classic Shakespeare theater. But here's the thing. That's not even when that line was said. What the line really means is it's Hamlet's choice between life and death. Is it worth going through hardship to keep living rather than dying? This line, now that you know the meaning, whether you like it or not, resonates with many teenagers. According to the Canadian Health Association, 6.2 million Canadians struggle with mental health illnesses. That's a big number, and it shows that what Hamlet went through in the play isn't fictional. Students deal with depression, anxiety, emotional burnout, things like that all in silence. Hamlet's question is something students in Canada and all around the world have asked themselves. What's the point? How do I keep going? However, it's the same question asked every time, just in different words. Is it worth living? Hamlet reflects what some students feel but may not be able to put into words, helping them process and feel heard. Ophelia is another character that shows mental health issues in the play and what they can lead to. Ophelia's mental health decline is one of the most heartbreaking parts of the play, and throughout the play, she is constantly being controlled by the men around her. Her father, her brother, and even Hamlet, when he cruelly said, "Get thee to the nunnery." After the death of her father and Hamlet abandoning her both emotionally and physically, her support systems crumbled, leaving her emotionally overwhelmed and alone. In Act 4, she then shows up with flowers and sings a cryptic song. The court watches her break down and does nothing to help her. Sound familiar? It should. Young women with mental health issues are often treated very similarly, and they are dismissed or ignored until it is too late, like Ophelia's story. Ophelia's story is heartbreaking, but it's also very real. And that's why it's important to teach Hamlet. It opens doors of communication. It sparks conversations. It teaches empathy, and it tells students what many students need to hear. You are not alone in your struggles. Now, let's talk about powerful people and leadership. Today, even though we have more information than ever, students struggle even more with finding reliable information. They scroll past politicians, influencers, news, fake news, all claiming to be true and unbiased. Hamlet shows that this problem has changed, but it's not new. Hamlet's uncle Claudius killed his father and took the throne, and acted as if it didn't happen. In Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 5, Hamlet tells us, "One may smile and be a villain." This line is chilling but true. Just because a smiling face sits on a throne, or in modern terms, in office, doesn't mean that they can be trusted. This teaches students to think critically about who they trust and to look deeper into facts about leaders before giving their entire support to them. Asking questions in today's world is more important than ever. Let's be honest, young people are under a tremendous amount of pressure. High schoolers are expected to decide and set their whole future at what? 14, 18 years old? One wrong choice makes it feel like the whole world's going to fall apart. The pressure makes anxiety and makes students freeze, just like Hamlet. He knows what he has to do, but his indecision and overthinking stop him. In Act 4, Scene 4, Hamlet says, "How stand it then that have a father killed, a mother stained, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 22,000 men, to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell." This quote may seem confusing, I know, but in other words, it's saying, what's wrong with me? Why can't I act when others die for nothing? The feeling of a mix of shame, guilt, and paralysis is what so many students like Hamlet experience. Afraid of failure, afraid of making the wrong choice, and afraid of being a disappointment. I've been down this road myself. A few years back, I was too terrified of letting those around me down. I stopped trying because if I didn't try, I wouldn't be a disappointment. I know now that this is unhealthy, and I understand that you have to act to succeed, and you have to get over this fear. I learned this through a supportive adult who reached out to me, but not everyone is as lucky to have a person reach out and help them like I did. Hamlet not only reflects these feelings, but helps students understand that they don't need to be ashamed of feeling this way, of feeling frozen. And it serves as a warning for students, teaching them this lesson if someone else isn't. Finally, fear. Fear of saying the wrong thing. Fear of doing the wrong thing. In Hamlet's soliloquy, he says, "Thus conscious science does make cowards of us all." The translation to this is, overthinking and fear of consequences makes us cowards. In today's world, with social media, students are always hyper aware of how their actions are being judged. One wrong post could ruin a university application. One mistake could follow them for the rest of their lives. The New York Post did a story about a senior in high school, Kaylee Timot. An honor student lost her scholarship and a job offer after a video of her dancing with her friends at a party was seen. The reason being that her dancing was seen as too inappropriate. One dance and her whole life gets taken off track. With this type of pressure and judgment on students' actions, it's not a surprise when they stop taking actions at all. We call this cancel culture, but it's much bigger than that. It's a fear of action ruining the future you've worked hard to build. This fear stops people from speaking out, trying things, and being themselves. This is exactly what happens to Hamlet. He becomes so obsessed with the consequences and judgment that he obsesses over the actions until it's too late. Hamlet reminds students that yes, be mindful of your actions, but don't let the possible consequences stop you from taking any actions at all. So no, Hamlet isn't some dusty play that has no connection to modern students. It's a deep and complex play about the human experience that connects with students and adults alike. It shows us the weight of mental illness, pressure of expectations, and the fear of making the wrong choice. By teaching Shakespeare, we are not only teaching just Shakespeare, we're teaching students how to understand themselves and the world that they live in. And that to me is timeless. And going back to the question at the beginning of all of this, if a 400-year-old prince can relate to teenagers, how outdated is this play really?